Hey, this is Daniel Warren Johnson, creator of books such as Murder Falcon, Extremity, Wonder Woman Dead Earth, and Beta Ray Bill, and you're listening to the Oblivion Bar Podcast.
Welcome to the Oblivion Bar Podcast with your host, Chris Hacker and Aaron Knowles.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 188, of the Oblivion Bar Podcast. I am Chris Hacker. I'm one of your co-hosts here. And joining me today is my favorite square-headed, pickaxe-carrying best friend, Aaron Knowles.
I am Steve.
So here's a little behind the scenes, everybody. Before we even get into this, is this Deadpool versus Deadpool Wolverine? Let's fucking go. Yeah.
No, this is fucking kids screaming in the theater.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So we're going to talk about that. But everyone, I just want to give a peek behind the curtain here. So firstly, Aaron and I initially thought we were wanting to review this on the show because for me, Minecraft has a very particular and special place in my heart. It's maybe one of my, there's an argument to be made as my favorite video game of all time. I have very important memories and distinct memories of playing this during our time in the military, not you and I, but just me alone in my barracks room.
Heavy into it.
Yeah. So yeah.
I particularly remember that a lot.
Mm-hmm. And we eventually started playing it together, much later in life, right around the time where we started the Oblivion Bar. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it felt, necessary to talk about this movie on the show. And then we watched it. We watched the movie. And we decided maybe not talk about it. But then we're like, you know what? We already went to the trouble to go see it. And I think there is some interesting things about this movie, not including the actual movie itself. But Aaron, is there anything you want to sort of preface this review with before we really get into it? Like, what were your thoughts on this sort of broadly?
Perfect movie.
Perfect. Diamond ore movie.
Yeah.
I'm
kidding. This was if a chicken jockey took a shit.
Bring your mic a little closer for me, please, if you can.
Okay. This is like if a chicken jockey took a shit into my popcorn bucket.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I definitely see where you're coming from because I also agree. This movie is pretty bad, everybody.
Okay. Let me clarify, actually. I'm going to be 100% honest. There were some funny LOL moments in this movie.
Can you think of anything particularly, like just anything off the top of your head that was really fun for you? There
was mostly just a couple of like one-liners.
Sure.
I want to say mostly it was Jack Black. Fucking love Jack Black. I think there's a couple of his power moves that he did that were pretty funny. There was a time I don't exactly remember what they called it, but it was like the man sandwich or something.
Oh, where they're doing the 69 while we're flying.
Yeah, where they had to squeeze the whole
great bit.
There was some.
It's a great bit.
It's a great bit. There were some just funny little moments, but I am God, the amount of love that this movie is getting, the amount of love that movies like this have been getting, very much makes me afraid.
When you say love, can you be more specific? Like love in terms of critical acclaim or love in terms of attendance?
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. I attribute and we'll get into this, the record breaking, money, the
box office. Yeah.
The box office.
Can I say really quickly, just so preface what you're about to say?
No.
Okay.
I'm just I just want to attribute this to do you remember what basically GameStop, when GameStop was going out of business and then a bunch of fucking people on Reddit decided to turn it into a meme stock.
Yeah.
And bounce up the value.
Yeah, there's a movie about
what's
it.
Happening.
Big money.
Huh?
There's a movie about it with Paul Dano.
Big money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wall Street Bets is a whole thing. Okay. That's what's happening to the movie industry right now with these pieces of shit films. They're being turned into a joke, a viral joke on society. And that's why we're seeing kids going to these theaters and creating a fucking meme in society. It's the same thing as flash mobs. It's the same thing as dancing up the aisle at your wedding. It is a moment where people are doing everything they can to turn something into a publicity stunt for themselves and to gain clicks. And this is fucking sad.
Sure. Yeah, I definitely can see some of that. And it is frustrating, more than anybody, that I really like a quiet theater. And I was going to get to that. I do want to talk about sort of your theater setting, but I want to stick on this really quickly because it is interesting. And I should tell everybody, I'm not going to edit this at all. Aaron and I, we didn't plan a transcript for this. We just wanted to get on in front of a mic and talk about this movie and just brain dump on it because we already sort of went to the trouble to see it, and it is killing, right? So I think before I get into, again, the setting and getting more into the story and why I feel like this movie is interesting, I do want to talk about the box office because I feel like that's the most interesting part about this whole thing. So it had a $163 million domestic opening. It's 163 million opening for domestic, 150 million abroad, so almost even, which is extremely rare, which equaled out to about 313.7 million worldwide. It's already the fourth highest grossing film of the year in its opening weekend. This is going to break $1 billion, everybody. It's going to be the most, up to, I would say, Fantastic Four in July. This will be the highest grossing film of the year. Undoubtedly. Before we even get to Thunderbolts in May, this will be the highest grossing film of the year. And I have thoughts on this. I agree with you 110% about
110%.
about the smooth brainness of this movie. It is not only stupid, but it's also lame in the worst ways possible, with a couple exceptions, right? Jason Momoa, every fourth or fifth scene, says a funny thing or does something funny. Jack Black, I've grown up with this guy leading, teenage to kid movies, School of Rock, Ghost, what he did, oh gosh, he did Super Mario Bros, but that was recently.
Yeah. He did Be Kind Rewind.
Sure. Yeah.
Which was good.
Yeah. Goosebumps,
yeah,
which was semi recently as well.
Yeah. Goosebumps.
He's done
Tenacious D, Pick of Destiny.
Tenacious D was so important to me as a young person, right? So he's been a part of my life in varying times. There's an argument to be made that he is maybe one of the most important actors or people in Hollywood for me as a moviegoer and as a fan of pop culture and such. So I like him in this movie. Everybody else could care less. Why is Jennifer Coolidge in this movie? I don't know.
She had some funny moments.
She's just being Jennifer Coolidge at 60.
That's all she ever
That is her. That is literally her bit.
Wow.
Wow.
Coolidge.
Yeah.
I make sex jokes because that's all I'm.
That's what she does.
Yeah.
And then you get the village going, which is actually probably one of the decent bits in the film, especially at the end, which we'll get to. We'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted more of that, but we'll get to it. So, but I say all that to say this is that this movie didn't anger me, in the same way that Captain America Brave New World did, not in the same way that Sonic 3 even did. Because Sonic 3 to me feels like they stopped trying. That franchise has found its quality that it wants to hit, and it is fine there and does not want to get any better or worse. Yep. This to me is, first of all, a much necessary shot in the arm for movies. This has been the worst box office year, excluding 2020, since I don't know the exact data, but I think it's from the early 80s of one of the worst in terms of box office thus far in this year. So for that, I appreciate it, right? Minecraft is bringing people to theaters. That's important. Yeah. It's the same way with Hush 2 in comics. Yeah. I fucking hate the idea of Hush 2, but I'm happy that it's bringing people to theaters. So
I want to echo what you're saying, because it's not the movie that makes me so frustrated.
Yes.
What it stands for.
Mm-hmm. Which is, just the incredible lack of respect for what the experience of cinema is. Mm-hmm.
Because we're now creating, much like movies like Wicked have created a need for sing-along. I mean, and there's been, this is not something new, but it's become more popular when these it's become more necessary as these bigger, movies that have these followings. Okay.
Mhm.
As you create these movie franchises that have such followings, you're going to have specialized viewings for particular groups of them. So like when a movie like this comes out that is going to be insane, you're going to have like probably a few viewings, more than likely, that are just adults.
Sure. Do you think they should separate it? Be like, this is a fan viewing where like it's interactive, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you look at what's again, and again, I'm not being so harsh, because I love what you said, where this movie does not anger me, because this movie is what it is. They made exactly what they wanted to make, and it wasn't terrible. It wasn't the worst thing to hit. It wasn't the worst thing to hit the screens. I'm gonna be honest. There was like there's like have been several movies that are way below this quality.
Yeah.
But we are now entering this weird phase where there is a whole generation of people that have become adults, or at least like adolescents, that can go to movies by themselves and act like complete assholes.
Yeah. Did you have that? Did you have that in your theater? When did you see it? I should ask you as well.
I'm just going to let you know that I refused to go watch this at the movie theater, so I found a copy online.
All right, everybody. Aaron just admitted on live here on that he found it through nefarious reasons. Okay, I will tell you that I saw it on, what was it? Oh gosh, now Thursday at 4 p.m. Literally the earliest screening that you could see it. And I'll be honest, it was a good viewing. Like there were a couple kids, and they were kind of loud here and there, but it was IMAX. Therefore I couldn't hear them, but like they were having fun. And that's something else I wanted to kind of bring up. And I can't take credit for this. I heard it somewhere and I'm trying to remember where it was, but like, this kind of feels like the changing of the guard, Aaron, for our generation, right? Like think about the kids today. What like big tentpole movies have been for kids that like weren't for us at some point? Like you can't say the Minions, because Despicable Me came out when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
Super Mario, you could say that, but that's your generation, really. That's when Mario first came out.
That's true. This generation doesn't really have there's not a whole lot that's just for them.
Right.
And I want to just clarify when I say that I didn't necessarily find it nefariously. Okay.
You just walked by the theater and looked in.
No,
at the theater. From the outside.
I'm just gonna let you know that like a couple of days ago, all right, an unfinished version of the movie leaked online.
Oh, did it? Did it really? Okay. I didn't know that.
It was like an unfinished, like the graphics weren't 100% there.
Got it.
But like to me, I knew the graphics, like it's Minecraft. Like what graphics are you excited to see?
What more movie could you what movie could you go to and use your imagination more than in Minecraft, right?
Thank you. I will say this, that there were some funny ass things that I did see when I watched and I thought that was the reason I actually did do that as well, is because I wanted to have the comparison between the unfinished version and see what our like enjoyment levels were going to be.
Yeah.
Because the version I was going to tell you, the version that I saw was like PNGs. It had like stunt cables. Like at one point there was like a villager walking around where it was just like a big foam head and somebody's face coming out of the front of it. like it was, and I felt like that actually added to the enjoyment of it, of watching it.
Well, I mean, to your credit though, even though you didn't go, there have been like a wild amount of audiences who cannot control themselves. Like I've seen videos of like people having the cops called on them because they're being too rowdy.
I sent you multiple. Sent you multiple because and that's why like I have a big issue, and that's why, to be quite honest, it gave me anxiety actually thinking about going and seeing this movie.
Because we cannot be quiet, you and I. Like in terms of like if someone were to be annoying, we would say something, and that always fucks up my viewing experience.
Yeah, it ruins the whole experience, and I leave angry, I leave upset. But like there were videos. So like first off, the amount of videos that I see more recently now of people recording scenes from movies is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that these kids are being like kicked out of the theaters because they're throwing popcorn and drinks. And then there was one theater where somebody told the kids just to be quiet, and like they just started screaming at him to get out.
Okay.
You know, so it's like, to me, it's like it's all over. Like I would never, growing up, I would never have considered recording like the video, like the movie that I went to go see.
Right.
Never. I would never. But like, people just get away with it. Like, it's such a thing now where kids will literally sit there with their camera and hold it up and record it. And I've had to say something. And maybe I'm a buzzkill. Maybe I'm a fucking boomer or something.
No.
But it's about respect, you
100%.
know? And it's like, to me, that's, you wouldn't steal a car.
You wouldn't download a car, would you? It's one of those things where when people do that, even if you're on your phone, even if you're not recording, or if you're just talking, we all paid way too much money to be here right now. Let's just baseline.
Absolutely.
We all spent at least $18 to come see this movie in a theater, which is part of the reason why most folks don't even go to the theater. That right there alone is why people don't go out. But if you include the idea that you have to deal with people being rude in the theater while this film is happening, distracting you from the viewing experience, because that's why we go to the movie theater, right? It's to be immersed. It's for the ambiance. It's for the popcorn smell and the dark room and the bass and all the things, the trailers, all these things factor into why people go to the movie theater. And if you have some 17-year-old Snapchatting the entire movie, it's going to ruin it. It's going to add more reason to not go. It's going to incentivize you not to go.
I want people to start going into, like, when they go to movie theaters and these people cannot control themselves. I want people to start being more willing to walk out and ask for their money back.
Yeah.
And that'll
incentivize the theaters to enforce it.
Exactly. That is an unfortunate thing to do. And it is not always the most comfortable thing to do, but it will incentivize the theater to take control and have somebody in those theaters to ensure that the movie going experience is top notch.
Yep.
Like, I don't even mind now. Like, I'll probably start spending more money to go to places like
Alamo,
mm-hmm. You know, because Alamo, they say very clearly, if they have to say something to you, they will kick you out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I want. I want my movie theater to be a dickhead.
It's like, you know, I want my Uber driver to be like 10 and 2 the whole time, doing this 5 under the speed limit, even though they never do. But like, yeah, you know, I totally agree. There's those videos you sent me, and it's sort of been like the pervasive experience for a lot of old heads like us that want the kids to just shut up and watch the movie. There's a particular scene where Jason Momoa's character Garrett has to fight a chicken jockey. This is what people are going insane for. And I'm curious, you know, we're both Minecraft fans. I remember playing beta 1.4. Like, I was part of that 2011 crew that downloaded it on their MacBook and played it, you know, where there was like 7 ores, you know, total. But I don't know what the hell chicken jockey is. Do you know what that is?
No idea, but apparently people are fucking insane for it.
Yeah. I mean, I know that they're annoying in the game. Like, I've encountered these, and people who don't know what we're talking about. A chicken jockey is basically a baby zombie who are like really fast in the game on top of a chicken, which are also fast. And they will just come at you and bam, bam, before you can even like swing your sword at them. They will just keep hitting you over and over and over again. So they're like notoriously really annoying creatures in the game, but I don't understand why everyone's going so crazy in the movie theater because of that. Right. And there's also another scene that I couldn't find online, and maybe Aaron, you could possibly find it. There's a scene where they enter the village, and a pig with a crown walks by.
Yep.
What is that?
So that is the actual reference to that one was I watched an interview about this movie, and I'm just going to say this interviewer was talking to the director, and he said,
Jared Hess.
Jared Hess. Mm-hmm. They said, is there a reference to Technoblade? And Technoblade he was the world's #1 Minecraft streamer, and he passed away from cancer.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So that's why he said, is that pig a king? He said, no, that's not a king. He's a legend.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
And so, yeah, he was, it was actually a really good story behind it. And it was a really nice tribute. And to the fact that, you know, again, that I mean, that's one thing I got to say is for somebody who doesn't know a whole lot about the lore, fans are really happy of the fact that this movie is going so much like into the lore. They're staying so much within like the story and bringing these things. And do I agree with how the movie was necessarily carried out? Because I mean, like the fact that there's like this brother and sister that go in there, we know nothing of their background other than their parents are dead. There's like their realtor for some reason who's like has a mobile zoo is brought in with them. Like they have a weird relationship with them. Like it would have been so much more funny and better if it had just been probably the kid and Garrett the garbage man and and Jack Black as Steve. Like to me, it didn't need all that extra expose on like familial relationships. Like there was a lot that brought nothing to it, but I can't fault a movie that's doing so well because I simply don't know as much as some people do. But apparently the chicken jockey is a very rare enemy.
Yeah.
And people were excited about it.
Because it has to happen randomly. Like a baby zombie has to spawn, like when it turns night in Minecraft, it has to spawn on top of a already walking around chicken, which is like extremely rare. Like it definitely is. And you brought up a good point there. There's still this thing in Hollywood where we feel like we have to have like a human attachment to these otherwise very unhuman properties. I'm thinking like Transformers, for instance. What's another one, Aaron? There's other ones that are escaping me at the moment, but oh gosh.
I mean,
Transformers is the best example, right?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. Like we don't need Megan Fox. It was awesome to have.
Well, it's debatable, right? Like, let's keep the Megan Fox. Let's exclude the Shia LaBeouf. You know what I mean?
Fuck that, man. I love Shia LaBeouf.
Bumblebee, bee, just yelling the entire time.
Hey, he's like the Dakota Fanning of fucking Transformers,
right? Well, and part of the reason why I say all that is because the Super Mario Brothers movie, which was fully animated, cost $135 million to make, and it also did gangbusters. And I think that proves that these movies, these video game IP movies, don't necessarily have to A, be live action, but also B, don't need actors. Or if you're going to do actors, just make them the voices, Like, I think that makes much more sense, especially in this world. And I know you didn't see this because you watched some bootleg, black market, dark web version, but the movie doesn't look... Okay, I'll tell you this. It looks its worst when there are humans on screen. You know what I mean? Like the Minecrafty characters look great. Like they look weirdly really, really good. Like the textures,
and I can see
all
that,
from
the trailer. Yeah. Luckily I have an imagination, so I can watch this trailer and then I can watch what I watch. And it honestly wasn't terrible. I'm telling you, the fact that it was completely unfinished, that might be something to say for itself.
Sure.
The fact that an unfinished version was not that bad to watch versus the rest of it, because again, like when there's just like explosions and it's just like, but I can see like the balloon, those nether balloons or whatever they're called.
Gas
the
leads, I think is what they're called.
Gas leads. Yeah, like those things, like they're just like, it's just literally like a PNG like floating around. I wish you could see the version that I saw.
I kind of want to now.
It honestly wasn't like super terrible. But again, I think that they knew exactly what they were doing when they brought Jack Black into this. But you know what? I feel like we can digress a little bit and talk about like the director, writer. How about we get into that a little bit?
Yeah. One more question before we get into sort of the minutia of the actual movie. But like, did you like this more than like say Sonic? Like the Sonic, is this better than like the Sonic franchise? I'm trying to find a gauge for like what is this, outside of, again, the box office value, like, because I agree with you, Hollywood learns the wrong lessons and they will see this, they'll see the numbers and they'll go, more Minecraft movies. Like Minecraft 2 has been greenlit undoubtedly.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be the Minecraft universe now.
100%.
Like, it's gonna go fucking like, pardon the term, hog wild.
In terms of quality though, where does this land on the pedigree of like video game adaptations?
To be honest, I mean, this one probably about the same level as Sonic 1 for me.
Okay. Is Sonic 1 your best? Like, is that your favorite of the trilogy so far?
Of the three, yeah.
Okay. See, I think this is worse than the Sonic movies. but only slightly. Like they're about the same tier. I'm trying to think. Like The Last of Us, that's S tier video game adaptations. Fallout. I know I haven't finished it, but I know that you love it. A lot of people love it. You could even throw in. I mean, I remember us being sort of varied on this, but I really love Super Mario Bros. And I get why people don't love it because it is very paint by numbers, but I think it sang all the right notes that I wanted to hear, you know?
Oh yeah. I mean, it wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be. It wasn't what I had hoped for, but it was entertaining. And again, this one, I would give this one a little bit higher of a rating because surprisingly enough, there were moments that I did laugh.
Sure.
You know, and whether that was, you know, Jason Momoa as, you know, the garbage man, like being just a complete tool, you know, or just the fact that Jack Black is just, he will consistently bring value to a like an IP.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
You know, it's like, that's really all that they're like, that's it. I mean, that they're just those things that will bring some semblance of enjoyment to it, where again, so maybe not Sonic 1, maybe Sonic 2. It's like as quality as Sonic 2.
Sure. Can I give you, before we get into the movie, one more question. Can I give you a list of some of the worst video game movies, and you tell me when the Minecraft movie was more enjoyable than that adaptation?
Do not say the Super Mario Brothers movie, like the original.
Oh no, I don't think that's on this list. But okay. Assassin's Creed from 2016.
I didn't watch it.
Okay. Need for Speed, 2014.
Did anybody watch it?
Well, I mean, some people watched it. It was the one with Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad. Remember that?
Oh,
yeah. No, didn't see that one.
Didn't see that.
Warcraft, 2016. I mean, outside of some shoddy CGI, I don't hate that movie.
I don't hate that movie.
I think that one's better. I think that one's better than this. Okay. Let's say Mortal Kombat Annihilation from 97.
This is better than that.
This is okay. All right. Borderlands. Did you see that one?
I refuse to. And you know,
the Borderlands is way worse than this.
You know how I feel about Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yep. Let's just say broadly Resident Evil movies. just all in total.
This is worse than those.
You gotta take the best and the worst all together.
I'll watch those. I don't give a fuck.
Okay. Uncharted.
Do people hate that movie? I
think
like
so.
that movie.
I think people hate it.
Why? That was good.
I kind of get it because it's nothing. Like it's not bad, but it's also
it's so vanilla.
It's so just PG.
It's tapioca pudding.
Right. It's made for everyone and therefore no one.
It's benign. It's just benign.
It just exists in the world. Okay, a couple more. Rampage from 2018. Is this better than that?
Ooh.
I don't hate that movie.
I don't.
It's so fucking stupid, but I kind of like. It's a movie that like I'll put on when I'm doing other things.
That's worse than some of the other ones. I mean, I would say Rampage is worse than this one.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I like Rampage more than this, but I get why people wouldn't. You know. How about Max Payne from 2008?
Ooh, that was Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah,
I liked that one.
You like that one?
That one was gritty. That was they tried to make Max Payne like Sin City.
Yeah. Okay, last one. Double Dragon from 1994.
This is way worse.
This is way worse. Yeah.
This is way worse.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball is such
Double Dragon.
Double Dragon. Yeah. Double Dragon is so fucking, it's exactly what it's supposed to be. So we had a conversation with Aubrey Sitterson about what was it called? Not Bad Dudes. It was about Buff Boys.
Buff Bros.
Buff Bros.
Yeah.
Buff Bros. If Buff Bros was made into a movie, like that's like, it's like River City Ransom, you know, like Buff Bros. And then you have like, Double Dragon. Like that's literally what this is. It's like Streets of Rage, man. It's like, you're literally making up your own fucking story when you make a movie about that shit. Like it's.
Do you remember Rick and Morty where they're like two brothers escape the world, two brothers save the world because they're two brothers. Like that's what this is. You know, like
Kokoshuko.
Yeah.
How long has it been? Have you ever even watched that movie?
No. I'm familiar, but
I just made a fucking total reference in that movie because that's what the bad guy called himself.
Oh, really?
He's like, you could call me Coco Shuko.
Is that the guy from T2? What's his name? He's also
yeah, exactly.
Oh man, why am I spacing his name? Yeah, a T1000. Yeah, he's a T1000. He's also the bad guy in Peacemaker. Gosh,
yeah.
Why am I? I'm going to look this up before we move on. Okay, so do you have anything, any other kind of like anecdotes before we sort of talk about the movie in its total?
I will just say this. The one thing, again, there's certain things that I can't hate about this movie, and I'll tell you this. There's kind of a I don't want to say it's like a bittersweet feeling when it comes to things like this, because one thing I've come to understand is that there is a like Minecraft in itself is a very special game to a lot of people.
Pause. What is your relationship with Minecraft? Because I don't think I've ever even asked you. Is it just me making you play it? Is that what it is?
No, it started off like that.
Sure.
So I really never had, until you introduced me to actually start playing it, I never had any desire to play it. And I don't know if it was the graphics. I don't really know if it was just like I didn't really feel like there was much lore to it. There wasn't really much of a story, etc. Sure. Recently and through playing it, I have enjoyed and I'll say even this movie has like sparked more interest in this game for me, just out of simplicity. Yeah. And that's also, I'm going to tell you this because we've been talking about it a lot because we're getting ready to start streaming on the Oblivion Bar Twitch channel again. Is a game like No Man's Sky. Now, No Man's Sky is very much, when I look at it like for what it is, it's like Minecraft. Like I'm literally like farming like different material to join it together to create other materials so I can build my base, or I can power my starship, or I can use it as ammo in my weapon or whatever. Like that's
the ultimate sandbox games.
Yeah, it's Minecraft in space.
Uh-huh.
So it again, I have a reference point now in my brain and understanding, and therefore I can relate to how special this game can be to people.
Mm-hmm. It really is whatever you make it.
Exactly. And I find that to be just like, it's an endearment. It's an endearing quality of this entire niche universe of Minecraft and what it's become for a lot of people. And to be honest, the story of this movie actually did something for me by explaining, like, you know, people who want to be creative in different ways, like this is a world for them.
Yeah.
And so like again, that's a redeeming quality of the story. So none of the things in this movie have really upset me other than a couple of characters that are completely unnecessary. It's everything that it has become outside of it, like the quality of people. Like I wish people would be like, okay, we are Minecraft fans. We are the fandom. We are the actual, like, you know, audience for this movie. Let's, I don't know, show people that we can be adults and enjoy the movie of the game, like, you know, responsibly, instead of going in there and acting like fucking asses.
Yeah, it's a lot like the Sonic fans from Sonic 3. Like, it's these people who make the experience about themselves, whereas they could use this opportunity to invite people into the world and the fandom of Minecraft. Like, they could like, maybe I'm too close to it, and maybe I was too like entrenched in it to know. But I kind of feel like that's how the MCU was. Like in the beginning, when the Marvel Universe first started, we were all like, I feel that like fans, people like myself and you who love this material, like some of this material before it became a movie adaptation, were like, oh my gosh, that's Mjolnir in Arizona, like, or New Mexico, wherever it was. Like in the next, there's no way they don't introduce Thor in the next one, right? Or like, you know, Nick Fury showing up at the end of Iron Man, like that, that's got to be the Avengers, right? Like that the Avengers Initiative. Holy crap. You know, like, but during the movie, I'm not like every time he says like, I could do this all day or whatever. Like, I'm not, let's fucking go, you know, up in the theater. Yeah. I'm just internally screaming because this is like such a great moment, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'll say like one of the only time that, and again, I think that's there's like a difference there between the audience members. You have kids who have grown up to the point where they can go to the movies by themselves. They can decide what they're going to go see, and they can go in there with their own money that they don't, you know, mommy, daddy, it's their money that mommy, daddy gave it to them or whatever. And they go in there and they just like, they've come to expect everything that they want in this movie, and there's no surprises, where people who are like fans of the MCU waited years of their lives to be invested their entire lives to be invested in this universe that's coming to fruition realistically in front of them instead of on the panels of a comic book in front of them. And the most irate that you'll ever get people, or the most insane that you'll ever get people, is when you have Captain America picking up Mjolnir and busting the chops off of fucking Thanos, and you have people losing their fucking minds, but they're still doing it like just excitedly. They're clapping. They're like, like, yeah, but they're not fucking like, let's fucking go beat his ass. Thunder shock that motherfucker. They're not going fucking crazy.
Honestly, like, people who got way too excited in Endgame, I kind of get it. And again, maybe I'm biased because I love that universe up to that point, but that was 10 plus years and 18 movies that led up to that moment. And like, I was never that person. I clapped and I cheered, like I did all the things, but I didn't like get up and start jumping around and scream, and I didn't record it, like all those things. Like, I don't know. Again, we're not trying to white knight this whole situation, and maybe Aaron and I come off as like truly curmudgeons in this scenario, but there just needs to, and I think what it comes down to, Aaron, is that we remember going to the movie theater with our parents. Like, at one point for the majority of our childhood, in order to go see a film, we had to go with our parents or other friends. And like there was a certain amount of decorum that went along with that. Whereas now, a privilege. 100%, you only went on Fridays, Saturdays, maybe, maybe. And then but nowadays, there's no way that, you're bringing little Timmy at 14 years old to the movie theater. Like, he's going to go with his friends. They're just going to Uber there. You're going to drop him off or whatever, like I don't know. There's a difference there. And it makes me never want to have kids is what I'm trying to say. And before you move on, Aaron, I want to say Robert Patrick was the guy from T2 and Peacemaker and Double Dragon, all the things. Should have known that anyway, NBD. But okay. So moving on to the movie here, was there a particular scene that really stuck out to you? Like, was there, because you said that like there were a couple like hoorah, like you really enjoyed it. You weren't really enjoying it up to that point, but then you started to really enjoy it. Was there a moment in particular that like really brought it home for you?
I think the part that I started to enjoy was there's like this initial scene where, and I gotta remember the kid's name because Henry. Okay.
Yep.
I'm more of a Sebastian Henry than you'll ever be.
Yeah, Sebastian Hansen in this movie. I think it's his first film.
Yeah, and he has a very like vanilla look to him. Also, like he's like the boy version of the girl from Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah,
but I would say there's this scene. So I don't know if you remember. There was a movie that came out not too long ago. Well, quite a while ago. Not that long ago. Tomorrowland with it was George Clooney.
Yeah.
And in that movie, like, he's a kid who's like he dreams of the future. He sees like, he's a visionary. He's an inventor. He's inventive. He's resourceful. And in that, he builds his own rocket pack, which is what helps him eventually make it to Tomorrowland. Okay. Mm-hmm. And in this movie, this kid builds his own rocket pack, which is like, you don't understand the world that they're living in. It's obviously not like a normal Earth, but
this world is so not Earth.
Yeah.
Whatever they're living in currently in this movie. It looks like Earth, but it's not.
It's such an interesting, like, I did enjoy the lead up. Like the lead up had like the weirdest. This movie had the weirdest intro,
like the exposition from Jack Black.
Yeah, wanting to be like going to the mines,
go to the mines,
and so like it was like that was interesting and kind of fun for me, and then it takes this weird change back into the real world with these kids, and like there's a time jump that none of that really made any sense, but
right.
I did enjoy the introduction, and then there's the scene where the kid first like really starts figuring out, like he starts punching the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if you've played the game and you don't know how to do anything, that's what you do. You start going up and like whacking the tree with stuff, and it turns into this wooden block. Right. And I felt like that was a really interesting way to like kind of introduce these new characters to the idea of what this world is, just like everybody else who's been introduced to Minecraft. Like everybody had to take that first step in the overworld.
That's the beauty of Minecraft, right? They literally, and I tell everyone this when we start playing, like Olivia and I, we've recently started playing it together, and she loves it. And I had to sort of explain it to her before we start playing. It's like, the beauty of this game is they just drop you in this world, and then it's up to you. You figure it out from there. You can do whatever you want.
Congratulations! It's the only world. It's the only world you're ever going to get to build your own house in.
Right? Yeah.
Congrats.
Especially right,
You know?
hun. This is this is the house.
This is it.
Do you want to make it a diamond?
Across the threshold.
Right. So, yeah, I do like when they first get into Overworld. There was this sort of like very Steven Spielberg sort of wide eye. I don't know what you want to call it. It did feel kind of big in that moment. Gosh, I hate to, again, I don't want to sound like a true pessimist, but watching this movie, I think about halfway through the movie, once they got to the village, I just started hate watching it. Like I knew everything that was going to happen up until the end. And for some reason, Aaron, asked me real quick before I move on, asked me, did you stay for the end credit scene?
Chris, did you stay for the end credit scene?
Yeah, I did. Why? Why did I do that? Did you stay for the end credit scene, Aaron?
There was no end credit scene. I saw the mid credit scene, but there was no on the recording that on the
dark web
file that the dark web that I watch. It did not have but I have heard what the end credit scene is. One thing that I like, and I think it's so funny, is we use like I know we're jumping ahead a little bit, but like
we're just jumping around. There's no transcript, everybody.
There's no transcript for this one. One thing you could tell, the interesting thing about a movie is the quotes that come from it.
Yes.
And like everybody could see, like, this movie's become a fucking meme machine.
It was created to be a meme machine.
It was created to be a meme machine. And if you go to the quote section in IMDb and scroll down, it is all like 95% is Steve. Jack Black.
Well, one of my favorite quote of the movie is from Steve. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
You are truly a bodacious warrior and a really good friend. Do you
That's
have
how
a
I want
favorite?
to be known from now on.
A bodacious warrior and a really good friend.
It was either the full man sandwich scene,
yeah,
or I don't know, because like. Again, Jack Black was just Jack Black.
And then I guarantee they just had someone off camera going, "Hey, say this," and then Jack Black just said it in his Jack Blackness with all the kicks and the singing.
There's this scene where Jennifer Coolidge is like, she's talking to Jason Momoa. She says, "Oh, you could take me to the curb anytime," and he's like, "Lady, whoever divorced you, like truly made a mistake, or like didn't know what they lost." And I'm just like, that was my favorite quote. Yeah. Because it's like two just completely fucked up people like having a moment. And it was like so odd, but like I could see it.
I just think it's really odd. And I like Jennifer Coolidge a lot, but I just think it's odd that we still have Jennifer Coolidge doing her Jennifer Coolidge thing into her like mid 60s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was cool when she was, well, yeah, when she was 40, it was hot as fuck. She was the MILF. But now
she was Stifler's mom.
Right. But like she's 65 now. And like it kind of shows, no offense. But like it's just not, it's not doing it anymore, Jennifer. I apologize. Like I don't know. But I will say that speaking of that end credit scene, speaking of Jennifer Coolidge, we find out that the villager that has been going the whole movie is actually being voiced by Matthew Berry.
Yeah. You really are the most devious. Was it what is this?
You really are the most devious bastard in New York City.
New York City. Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you, Clem Fandango. I wish we would have gotten that. Like, if we do get a second one, and we are guaranteed to get a second one of these, if they do not bring Matthew Berry in to voice that villager, that will be a truly missed opportunity. Like that was the funniest part of the movie, in my opinion. That revelation.
They've already said that, like, again, with there was the scene where Henry looked into the Enderman's eyes, and started seeing like flashes of all like the dark versions of the characters. So you saw like anti-Steve, or what I don't even know what some of these are called, but like you saw like Nega Steve,
Nega Steve.
And then like I guess he saw other stuff like that's supposed to be like obviously like
foreshadowing
the future. Foreshadowing, yes.
Yeah.
Just to get into Jared Hess's back, his back catalog here.
Yep.
Jared Hess was famous for a couple of short films, Palooka in 2002, 95 Senses from 2022. He directed both of those and wrote Palooka, was also the cinematographer.
Aaron, just get into the thing that matters. He directed Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. That's
Gentleman
really,
Broncos.
Didn't
if
see
you
it.
ever saw Gentleman Broncos, it was fucking weird.
Yep. Didn't see it.
It was so weird.
None of this means anything to me except for Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. You know what I mean? And you can see it. Like when you watch this movie, and if you know that going into it, you see the clear creative choices being made that look like those two movies, where it's like the camera stays on a character for just a little too long, and they don't say anything of like context or of value for just long enough to where it's kind of awkward. You know what I mean? Like that's what he's going for, is like a kind of a weird, again, as we said earlier, this world that they're all living in, even before they get over into the overworld, does not mirror reality in any sense. Like you've got Jennifer Coolidge telling 10-year-olds like that about her divorce and saying sex jokes in class. Yeah. You've got the one teacher who is just like teaching nothing and just talking about his like normal pathetic life. You know what I mean? Like this is just not reality.
Did you know that Jared Hess voiced General Chungus in this movie?
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
That makes sense. I okay. All right. I get, and I love the fact that, oh shoot, what's her name? The one from, Orange is the New Black, Daniel Brooks. She's got a llama in her car, right?
Yeah.
And that's Napoleon Dynamite. Tina,
yeah,
go get your food. Yeah. You fat lard.
Yeah. Let's just go the cast real quick. Obviously we know like Jason Momoa was Garrett, the garbage man. Jack Black was Steve. Sebastian Hansen was Henry. Emma Myers was Natalie.
I liked her in this movie.
Danielle Brooks was Dawn. Jennifer Coolidge, Vice Principal Marlene. Rachel House was Malgosia. And Rachel House, I think she was in
Thor Ragnarok.
Was she?
She's the Death Stick. She's the Death. She's she's on freaking Sakaar. She's like the one that is in the battle. She's gosh darn it, why am I spacing her name? She's New Zealand, obviously. Mac, help us out if you're listening. I know you know what we're talking about. Topaz is her name in the movie. Gosh.
She looks okay. I feel like I'm looking her up right now because I wanted to see if she happens to be the same girl from she was Topaz in Thor Ragnarok.
But the Grandmaster. Gosh, what was it? I was spacing Jeff Goldblum's name. It's the Grandmaster's like secondhand gal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, movie. Like the bitch. She's a bitch.
Well, I didn't say it doesn't even start with an M.
Yeah.
Or whatever he says. But yeah. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. Let's see. And then you got Alan Henry. Alan Henry was Malgosia, the creature performer. So obviously had the dots and stuff. And then you had Bram Scotty Breheny as young Steve. Jermaine Clement as Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
Jermaine Clement.
Jermaine, he's the guy from the storage area.
Yeah.
Weirdly underused. I like Jermaine Clement in a lot of things. So
yeah. That's really
that's really better.
Hiram Garcia was Mr. Gunshey or Mr. Day's ex.
Yeah.
Really not much. I mean, I didn't, and there's actually a cast for Amanda Billing as Henry's mother, but did we even see their mom?
We see a picture of her at one point.
Okay.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, Kate McKinnon from SNL plays Alex in the end credit scene. So the mid credit scene, everybody, if you for some reason you're listening to this and you haven't seen the Minecraft movie, the end credit, not the mid credit. That's Matthew Berry as a villager. The end credit scene is Steve, aka Jack Black, returning to his home, what used to be his home in the 80s before he went to the overworld. And he knocks on the door, and the person living there at that time is Alex, which if you've played the Minecraft movies, it literally means nothing. It's just the female version of Steve in the game. Like like Alex is just Luigi without any interesting backstory. You know what I mean? So that's all it is. And I would be surprised if Kate McKinnon is not already cast as Alex in a future Minecraft movie. So, Aaron, what's your favorite bit in this movie? Was it Jennifer Coolidge wanting to fuck a villager? Was it Jack Black and Jason Momoa doing a 69 while flying? or was it Danielle Brooks? No. Was it the winged Namor winged Iron Golem just doing a punch on the piglin at the end of the game, at the end of the movie?
I mean, that golem was pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know if that golem is even like that version of the golem. I don't know if that exists in the game. I've never seen it before.
What was it? The tater gun, the tot gun.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
no, I think that I don't think I really had a favorite bit. If I had a favorite like shtick, it would probably be the just over bodaciousness of Garrett and the fact that, like, again, there are so many things in this movie that like really remind me of like other movies. Like Garrett was basically the guys from, if you ever watch Pixels with, like Adam Sandler and what's his name?
Peter Dinklage,
yep. and it was,
that's essentially Jason Momoa's character in this is Peter Dinklage. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's like this out of like what do you call it? Like video game guru savant. I thought that was a pretty fun scene when it shows him like working out his fingers on, doing his like moves, and he's like controlling two characters with like, with the joysticks and the buttons.
Yep.
Like that was pretty interesting. Like there were so many things that I felt like were like kind of like mishmashed into this movie that didn't really like play into, like, again, if he was like this video game savant, let's just say he was amazing at video games. Okay. To me, and he also owned a retro like video game store. He would have been like a kid in a candy store when he got into the overworld. He would have been like grabbing stuff and mashing stuff together. He would have been like an adult version of Henry, but like making simple shit. If you know what I mean. Like that's what I feel like he could have been.
Well, I think that this caricature that both Peter Dinklage plays in Pixels, but also Jason Momoa plays in this movie. Have you ever seen King of Kongs, the documentary about the leading, for everyone who hasn't seen it, it's a documentary about this guy who's trying to beat this long-standing Guinness Book of World Record Donkey Kong Jr. score that was initially created by Billy Mitchell, who was essentially just Jason Momoa's character, but like skinnier and with a mullet and really like hot sauce and a cheat also sideways. Like you didn't know this at the time of the documentary, but you find out much later. Like we found out like a couple of years ago that like he was cheating the entire time.
I met him.
You've met him?
And I bought some of his hot sauce.
God damn it, Aaron. You helped him.
He wasn't
in his empire.
He was not I'll be honest, like meeting him in person, he's not a bad guy. He's a bit egotistical, but he's not a terrible guy. And his son is in the military. So we had a good conversation.
Okay. All right. Well,
he did cheat.
He's painted as a villain in that documentary, and it seems like he's been all but a dickhead since. But the caricature of like this world lost on them since they hit their peak in the 80s on an arcade system, because the arcade system, the stars shined bright and then it faded into obscurity pretty quickly. Like arcades were all but gone by the time I was a kid in the mid 90s, but like they existed here and there. But like, boy, in 1985, I would say like 81 to 88, arcades were king, and then they just sort of, they drifted into obscurity after the home console became a thing. Once Nintendo and Sega and Atari and all the things started to really take off at home. So yeah, I don't know. Aaron, we got about, I would say about seven minutes left. Is there anything else you really want to say about this movie?
I want to go over just some quick Easter eggs.
Please.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to use I found, so basically the one, it's like the loading screen in the beginning of the game. It's like this square loading screen that every fucking Minecrafter knows,
Yep.
So that was kind of like, I guess that was considered an Easter egg. The other one was like, the music that was played throughout the movie is the original Minecraft score.
Yep.
The movie, like the timeline of the days is actually like 20-minute days. They actually, throughout the movie, they do go by. And I thought it was kind of cool when the moon did rise and like, you saw like the cube moon.
Yep. We do see a golden apple in this movie at one point.
Yep. The water buckets, apparently Steve's secret stash is an exact replica of what you see in the game.
Yeah.
Again, the chicken jockey that we already talked about, the Technoblade Easter egg, and the introduction to Alex.
Yep.
Who is, I guess, another character, which I guess is, I don't know enough about this game necessarily to be like, okay, like that's interesting. Let's let's see if there's anything else. The second collaboration between Jack Black, obviously Jared Hess for Nacho Libre.
Yep.
Yeah. So Kate McKinnon and Jermaine Clement previously appeared together in DC League of Super Pets, which I fucking enjoyed the shit out of that movie.
That's a fun movie. Yep.
And it was released approximately 3 years prior. Interestingly enough, Clement was the voice of Aquaman in that movie, who is famously portrayed in the DC Extended Universe by Jason Momoa.
Yeah. Well, since you didn't go see it in theaters, I will tell you that I was a shill, and I did buy a popcorn bucket. I saw
your picture.
One of the diamond ore buckets. And the cool thing was that AMC, get this, and you're totally going to understand this, 16 versions of that popcorn bucket that you could get, different ores for each one, TNT, dirt, all the ores, whatever. And then also you could buy a combo that came with, and this is sort of the interesting notch in all this, is that you could pick of any of those popcorn buckets, a cup, and then also you would get a wolf plush, but you could not buy the plush by itself. You had to buy the combo in order to get the plush. And I said, fuck that. I'm never going to spend $50 on a popcorn bucket, a cup, and a plush. So I did not get the wolf, but, God damn, if that's not great marketing, like that
is great marketing.
How do you say no? How do you look your 12-year-old son in the eyes and go, no, son, I will not get you that plush. If you really want, like, you go to the movies twice a year, you're not going to buy him the goddamn plush,
Yeah.
Make the parents feel bad.
Get a fucking job.
Mow some goddamn lawns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Timmy.
That's what I had to do. When I wanted to go get things, I had to go fucking snow shovel in Alaska.
Right.
Like
you're 9 years old.
Somebody gave me a roll of quarters. Okay. You know what I did with that roll of quarters? That's right. I counted them to make sure the money was accurate. Was it? No.
Don't trust anybody.
That lady was a bitch.
She was a shifty minx
with a clean driveway. Okay. I fucking cared about my.
We had to detassel the corn. We had to detassel corn if we wanted shit back in the day.
You ever shuck corn for money, Timmy?
All right, let's fucking round this thing out. Out of 5 David Weiner's, Aaron. And again, this was a very impromptu episode, everybody. We didn't go into all the minutia. All right, you know what? Final thoughts, real quick, before we give it a rating. Final thoughts on the Minecraft movie.
I would actually watch this again. So
I would hope so. Based on the version you watched.
I'm telling you, like, I don't need to. I would watch it again just for my own desire to see more of what the world has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like I said, what is interesting about this that I did not anticipate being kind of the outcome is that I actually have the desire to play more of the game.
Okay.
Sure. It made me feel like there is, like, again, overall the which was very lost in the movie, the message to me stood out, and like it was like this is a world for everyone. This is a world for creativity, which I think we do need more of. We need more creativity in the world. We need more acceptance. We need more embracing what is different between us all and what makes us unique. Mm-hmm. And I think that was a message that was kind of put out in this film, but not executed very well.
Agreed. Like I see that was the message, and did they follow through, and like, did they really bring that home? That's debatable, but it is a good message, right? Like, we all should definitely, lead with creativity, lead with empathy, all the things.
I want to ask you something real quick.
Sure.
Do you think, and I think this is something that I would like to see. So in the past, when, like, with the MCU and people getting upset about things like spoilers online,
mm-hmm.
We've had actually, like, celebrities and movie companies and, like, social media accounts popping up and saying, like, please, no spoilers. Like, let's respect the fans, let's respect each other, and no spoilers online, etc. Do you think that we're going to potentially see, like, the same with people being respectful in movie theaters?
No. And also, I just think like the spoilery part of the internet is always going to exist. It always has. It's just that we're just on the internet more now. You know what I mean? So, like, That's not going away, I don't think. So
what I can hope.
One can hope. And honestly, I was just telling Olivia this earlier today. I think my views on spoilers have just changed over time. Like, obviously I'd like to go in spoiler free, but if I get spoiled, Aaron, unfortunately, this is the cross that we bear being in this sort of.
Well, I
industry.
think I meant also like I understand like that's kind of you're always gonna have spoilers, but I mean like them saying things like act right in a theater.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, act like an adult. Please don't go to the theater and like lose your mind. Like let people enjoy the movie.
I wish
because it's becoming trendy.
I wish they would do that, but unfortunately, I think where we're at in the movie going experience, big movie companies outside of Alamo can't enforce that right now, right? Like they could, but they're going to lose people. And right now the movie theater is suffering to a point where they will take anyone. You know what I mean? Like maybe they'll kick people out in the moment, but they're not going to be like, hey, don't come in here and not talk. Cause then there's always going to be idiots that either press that and make it like there's a movement of contrarians, especially young people, cause they refuse to like be law abiding citizens. You eventually learn that as you get older, they'll just go and like, it'll be a trend to like go to the movie and piss on somebody in the movie theater. Like that'll be a thing if they tell everyone to be quiet in a movie. You know what I mean? So they kind of have to just like take it for now until movie theaters figure it out somehow. I don't know. I wish it would change.
This could be the downfall.
It could be.
The final straw.
We're like in it, I think, currently, which is a bummer.
Yeah.
But that's why we have to have people like us who will tell little kids to tell little Timmy to shut your fucking mouth in the movie theater.
And put your phone fucking down.
Look them in the face, point at their face and go, fuck you. Turn your phone off. Give me that. Give me your phone.
Do you know what this is?
Give me your phone.
Do you know what this is?
What?
This is the last time I'm going to tell you to stop screaming.
You see this? You see this right here? This is your fucking life in my hands.
Yeah.
I will crush you.
Yeah.
I will end you.
You think anybody wants a roundhouse kick to the face when I'm wearing these bad boys? I don't think so.
You think
I go home to Starla at night. All right.
Grab me with your arm. Your other arm.
Your other arm. My other wrist.
My other wrist. You gotta grab the wrist, walk away.
Break the wrist, walk away.
Break the wrist, walk away. All right. Let's rate this thing. Five David Winers. Aaron, what are you gonna give the Minecraft movie?
I'm gonna give it a 2.
Same. 2 is what I will give the Minecraft movie. That feels about right. Is it your least favorite movie of the year?
So far, I think so.
I think
I gotta rate it on my Letterboxd.
Yeah, I was actually pulling up Letterboxd right now. I think it's my third least favorite movie. Aaron, what do you think the 2 movies are that I don't like more than the Minecraft movie? You should know one of them.
Brave New World.
Brave New World is definitely one of them.
I don't know the other one.
The Electric State.
See, senor.
Yep. Can I tell you that I watched Black Bag last night?
How was that?
Very, very good. Very good. Everyone, if you want like a palate cleanser, if you've went and seen the Minecraft movie and you need some fucking cinema with a capital C, go watch Steven Soderbergh's brand new spy thriller Black Bag. It's very good. It's quick. It's got Kate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender, and it's super smart, super sexy, and there are no square-headed wolves. And Jennifer Coolidge is not trying to fuck anyone in this movie. So, you know, there are some downfalls I can't deny, but I will say that it's a good movie. So, Aaron, did you figure it out? What is this your least favorite one of the movie, or for least favorite of the year? Did you like this more than the Electric State?
I haven't rated. So to be honest, my worst movie thus far this year is Back in Action with Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz.
Oh, so that's something that I just look right past. Like I don't even want to look at it. And also I don't have Netflix anymore. So, but I get it. I get why that would be a thing. Yeah. Okay. That's your least favorite though.
That's my least favorite. I gave that one a 1.5 stars.
All right. Anything else before we get out of here on Minecraft?
I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I might have given less to, but
what did you think of the music really quickly? Music wise in this movie, did you like Jack Black's, the tunes?
Musical portion
you
of it?
You did like one for Chicken. You did one at the end of the movie.
Lava. Yeah. You put the lava on the chicken. It was I didn't think it was too bad. It was entertaining.
Yeah. It comes with the territory of having Jack Black in a movie, and I'm fine with it. It hasn't wore sour on me yet.
Peaches.
I will say that I found it really interesting at the end of the movie, because I stayed for the credits, of course. Dave Grohl of Foo Fighters was credited as the guitarist of I Feel Alive. So, yeah, interesting stuff.
Interesting.
Alrighty, well, I think that'll do it for our review of Minecraft. Everybody, again, sorry, this isn't like a true like review like we normally do, but it is something, and we hope that we put as much effort into this review as the filmmakers of this film put in. So, there were 5 screenwriters on this movie, Aaron, and as we know, that's never a good sign. So, all right, that'll do it. Make sure you guys go check out our conversation with Aubrey Sitterson. We just released it. I'm guessing I haven't put this out yet, but a couple days before releasing this review of Minecraft. So check that out. And then next week we are doing a Battle Royale number 6. So go check that out when it eventually comes out. So Aaron is, I think as we're releasing this, Aaron will be on his way to Las Vegas, but we will eventually get back together and do a little BR, you know?
Little BR action.
So Aaron, anything you want to say before we head out?
I think I appreciate everybody tolerating this review. I feel like, we're going to do our best to I know that some people may love this. They may hate what we have said about this film.
Right.
And I understand that. I hear you. I see you. But we need to do better.
We need to do better, everybody. Yeah.
We need to do better together. Okay.
Hollywood needs to do better.
With the audience members.
Audience needs to be better. Yep.
Yeah.
I
just
theaters.
want to walk into the movie theaters now and hold up a sign that says, please, for the love of God, shut the fuck up.
We should make shirts that just say, in the movies, shut your fucking mouth. And then on the back, it has the Oblivion Bar logo.
Yeah. Oh,
shut your fucking mouth. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I want that shirt.
I'm designing it as we speak, everybody.
Fuck yes. I will order that immediately.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you here soon, sometime later this week, I'm sure. We also have a conversation with Matt Yoakum coming up, former Air Force colonel turned comic book writer. So be on the lookout for that as well. And Kurt Pyre is coming onto the show here in just a bit, talking about Lost Fantasy over at Image Comics. So be on the lookout. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode. This improv. I guess it was both improv too and all the things. Both those things.
Both. I don't know if this is going to happen, but I did get an invite here in New York to see a screening of Drop.
Oh, what is that one? Remind me what Drop is.
That is basically it's a woman. She goes on like a blind date, and while she's at dinner, somebody starts texting her about, like, hey, you need to kill your date or we're going to kill your kids and people in this restaurant that you're in.
Yep.
And what it reminds me of is there was a movie that came out recently with Taron Egerton.
Yep.
I think that's his name.
Taron Egerton. Yeah.
Egerton.
Yep.
And I'm trying to look it up real quick because I do not remember the name. But he was like a TSA agent.
Okay? Oh, that was the one on Netflix. Yeah. Yep.
And it reminds me of that because it's like the same thing. Like there's like a somebody starts messaging them and they've got to do something.
Carry On
without knowing. Huh?
Carry On was the name.
Carry
of the
On.
movie.
Yeah. Carry on my wayward.
I was really excited about Carry On, and I watched it. It was actually the last Netflix movie I watched, and that was like the nail in the coffin for me. It was like, okay, I think I can get rid of Netflix now. I think we're good.
Yeah,
it's been a good run, everybody, on Netflix, but we're done. You're done. All right.
What it up?
What it up? You're done. All right, we're done. All right, everybody. We'll see you later. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.